Welcome back to Prediabetes and the Path to Better A1C podcast. I am your host, Jenny Pena, and I am so excited about this last episode of my four-part series around myths and blood sugar. And today I'm going to talk about a topic that everybody sends me questions. They're always thinking about supplements and medication, right? Do I need to continue medication for the rest of my life? Is the supplement really going to help me? So, all of these questions we are going to cover today. Now, have you ever been told that your blood sugar is creeping up and you immediately thought, I don't want to end up with medication, right? Or maybe your doctor mentioned metformin and the first thing you thought, oh, isn't there something natural that I can take instead? So maybe you search online, you found all of these supplements, berberine, that is a big rave these days, cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, magnesium, or other things that will promise that will support healthy blood sugar. And now suddenly you're trying to figure out which one is safer, which one works. Is medication really something that is showing that you have failed at managing your health? Like all of these things come to your mind. And there can be a lot of emotion wrapped up into this. You have the fear of the side effects. You have the fear about taking something forever. You have all of these assumptions too that natural means safer, which is not true. There can be also a lot of shame around needing medication. I think a lot of my clients and a lot of people that struggle with blood sugar truly believe that they caused it on themselves. Like, oh, I am responsible for this. I am guilty. There's a lot of guilt behind it. So I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of other factors, right? Like, yes, sometimes lifestyle habits, there are certain things that you do that impact your health. But I have treated individuals, let's say, that have prediabetes and they're not overweight. A lot of people think that overweight is a condition for you to have blood sugar issues, and it's not true. There are a lot of different factors. So today, I want to clear up at least five. There are many common myths, but I'm going to cover five about supplements, about medications, and about blood sugar because this is the last episode in our four-part series. I want to bring us back to something that we have talked about throughout the entire series, that there is rarely one magical food, one magical workout, one supplement, one medication that does everything. Your health is way bigger than just one thing. Okay? Let's get into it. If you have been following through, you know that episode 87 was about nutrition. Episode 88 was about exercise. Episode 89 was about sleep and stress. And today we're going to wrap this up with supplements and medications. Now, obviously, as a disclaimer, know that I am a health coach, right? I do not prescribe medication. I do not recommend medication changes or tell you which supplements you personally should use, should not take. Ask your provider. They have the full picture of your medical history. They know exactly what you're taking. And there's some supplements that, while they may be great for your health, they may interact with medications that you may be taking that are not even related to blood sugar. So please, 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 before you start anything, any routine like that, talk to your doctor. Okay? My job today is not necessarily to tell you what to take and what not to take, but to understand some of these myths and ask better questions when you go to your practitioner. So you have an educated decision. You don't make it out of fad. You have some reasoning behind it. Okay? And also wanted to tell you about my 5-day sugar fix reset. If you want to just work on habits and you feel overwhelmed, maybe you have just been diagnosed with prediabetes, you have no idea what to do, this is the perfect solution for you. It's self-paced. You get a series of emails. You don't need an app. You don't need any of these things. And you get specific strategies for each day that build on each other. It is a very structured way of getting started and embracing change in a way that feels simple and it doesn't require to overhaul your entire life. It's only $27 and you can find the link in the show notes or you can go to energy.subscribepage.io. Okay? Now, let's start with one of the biggest myths, and that is natural automatically means safer. This is such an easy assumption to make. If something comes from a plant, we tend to think, oh, it's natural, it's gentle, it's safer. And we compare that with prescription medication and think, oh, well, the medication is a chemical, it's strong, it's dangerous. But natural and safe are not the same word. Something can be natural and still cause side effects. Something natural can still interact with medication. And something natural can still be harmful at the wrong dose or for the wrong person. So there's also an important difference between how prescription drugs and dietary supplements come to market, especially in the United States. So prescription medications go through a process where evidence about safety and effectiveness is reviewed before they are approved for a specific use. Now, dietary supplements are regulated differently, right? Like the FDA does not approve dietary supplements for safety and effectiveness before most of them are sold, right? So we have that gap there. Berberine is one of those that I see all over social media making big promises. Yes, there are benefits, but you have to tread with caution. Now, if something says that it will reverse diabetes, or it will replace your medication, or it will melt away insulin resistance, or it's going to control your blood sugar naturally without anything else, that should make you pause. Instead of asking, is it natural? I want you to ask, what evidence do we have? Are there side effects? Could this interact with something I'm already taking? Has my doctor or pharmacist looked at this? Natural does not automatically tell you whether your product is right for you. Myth number two, berberine is basically natural metformin. I see that a lot. It has become incredibly popular online. A lot of people are making a lot of money selling these things. And you may have seen it described as the natural version of metformin. Sometimes people even say, why would I take metformin when I can just take berberine? But those are not interchangeable treatments. And berberine is a compound found in several plants, and there's some research suggesting it may have effects on glucose and other metabolic markers. It is worth researching and studying, but the evidence is not the same as the evidence behind metformin. Studies of berberine have varied in quality and dose, formulation, length, and even the populations that are being studied with it. So there are also questions around interactions with medications and differences between supplement products, right? So berberine itself can even cause a bit of GI side effects. You may end up getting nausea, constipation, diarrhea, abdominal discomfort. So, even here, the idea that natural automatically means no side effects does not hold up. Metformin, on the other hand, it has decades of research behind it. And this is particularly relevant to this podcast because metformin is sometimes considered for people with prediabetes who are at that higher risk of progressing to type 2 diabetes. Um, and if with lifestyle changes it has not improved, then you end up being put on metformin. Also, some ladies that are having PCOS or PMOS, that is another alternative that they can use to manage that. But this does not even mean that everyone with prediabetes needs metformin. It means that there are specific situations where a healthcare provider may consider it. So if your provider recommends metformin and you're interested in berberine, the answer is not to secretly replace one with the other. Bring up the question, talk to your provider, and ask, I've been reading about berberine. Can we talk about how the evidence compares? What can I do? Should I explore it? And have that conversation. It will be useful. And you're allowed, you should ask questions to your practitioner and you should understand why something is being recommended. Like, why are you giving me metformin? What does it do in my body? But metformin, natural metformin is a catchy internet phrase. And it's not accurate way to think about two very different products. Now, myth number three, metformin always causes terrible side effects. Now, let's talk about probably the thing people fear the most about metformin. I know I took it years ago when I first was diagnosed, the stomach issues. The mention metformin online and somebody's going to tell you the story. Diarrhea, nausea, bloating, stomach pain. And those side effects are real. I experienced them severely. I think that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to lower my A1C naturally and not have to use any medication because it was very hard for me. Now, some people do experience those problems. I did. And I do want to say, some people experience side effects. It doesn't mean that metformin makes everybody miserable. It's not true. People respond differently. Some people tolerate it well. At times, it depends on what you're eating that causes the symptoms. A lot of the times, a lot of my clients at the beginning, maybe the first 2 weeks or so, they feel some changes. And then after that, the body adjusts. It's just a matter of the body adapting to it. So there is also two different versions of metformin. Again, like this is for information only. I'm not a doctor, but there's the immediate release and the extended release forms of metformin. And research has found that, you know, lower rates of some GI side effects tend to happen with the extended release metformin. So I would say if you're taking the regular one and you're feeling a lot of side effects and they don't cease in about 2 weeks, talk to your doctor about it. Maybe switching will help. But please talk to your doctor. Now, don't change your formulation yourself. Don't be doing anything like that. Don't go like, I am going to stop taking it. Talk to your provider. You want to talk about the dose, the timing, the formulation. Sometimes it's even the timing in which you're taking the medication. So you can say to your doctor, hey, I have heard about these side effects. If I experience them, what should I do? Right? Like those are the things that you need to bring up to your doctor. You need to say, okay, I'm experiencing all of this. What should I do? Now, myth number four, taking medication means your lifestyle changes failed. Please do not embrace this. I really want to spend time on this because there is so much shame around diabetes and prediabetes. Some people treat medication as a punishment, like there's a ladder. And at the top is, I manage everything naturally. And somewhere underneath that is, I needed medication. As if needing medication means you did not try hard enough. And medication and lifestyle are not opposing teams, they support each other. You do not have to choose between healthy habits or medical care. You can work on your meals and take medication. You can walk after dinner and take your medication. You can strength train and take your medication. You can improve your sleep and take medication. You can manage stress and take medication. They all work together. And with prediabetes specifically, lifestyle intervention is incredibly important. That is why programs like the Diabetes Prevention Program exist. I have facilitated it several times, and the CDC has that all across the nation in the US. But even current prediabetes and diabetes guidelines recognize that some people are at a higher risk than others and may benefit from medication. It depends on how your pancreas is working. And there are some things that may not be able to be repaired, and you may need the medication. I'm sorry to tell you this way. So genetics matter, your health history matters, your age, your starting glucose during the day, and the A1C, all these factors matter. And these are variables you did not create just through behavior. Okay? So if your provider says, I think we should consider medication, this is not automatically a report card where you got an F or you failed. It is a treatment conversation. So have that conversation. Why do you feel this is the best option for me? What type of benefits? What are possible side effects? How will I know if this is working or not? Are there any alternatives? How does this fit my lifestyle? Those are better questions than, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Okay? It's not about moral judgment. And then myth number 5, last myth, GLP-1 medications are just weight loss drugs and they're an easy way out. I work with companies that have individuals taking GLP-1 medications for weight loss. I do it as a contracting, and I have worked with hundreds of individuals. And now a lot of people think that, oh, GLP-1 is just that magic wand, right? And you have heard people say, oh, that's just because you're lazy, or this is the only thing that you need to do, and the pounds are going to roll off, or it's just a weight loss drug. And I want you to understand that medications in general, they have different FDA approved uses. And like some GLP-1 medications are approved to treat type 2 diabetes. Some formulations are approved for chronic weight management in people who have very specific criteria. So certain GLP-1 medications also have evidence and approved uses related to cardiovascular risk. So this is not just one medication being used for one thing, and they are not simply appetite suppressants with a fancy name. GLP-1s are what is called receptor agonist and affect several processes in the body, including the glucose dependent insulin signaling, glucagon, stomach emptying, and appetite. There's a lot of different things that are being impacted by the medication. Now, this is also where I want to be careful because my audience includes people with prediabetes. Having prediabetes does not automatically mean that you need or that you qualify for a GLP-1 medication. These medications are prescribed based on the person's overall medical situation and specific medication approved indications. And they also have real potential side effects and risks that need to be discussed with your prescriber. So, again, this episode is not telling you to take one. What I'm saying here is, I want you to reduce that conversation about, oh, people just want an easy way to lose weight. And to some extent, I will say yes, some people do believe that, oh, I just need this medication and I don't have to do anything else. And I'm here as a coach telling you that those are the people that maybe lose a few pounds at the beginning and then nothing happens. And they keep want the medication dosage to be raised and nothing happens. And then they're starving themselves and their medication is pretty much giving them all these side effects and they're not seeing results. And that's what happens. So I want you to be mindful about that. Don't just say that it's an easy way out. If someone needs the medication to support their chronic condition, using that medication is not cheating. And y- you don't tell somebody with high blood pressure that taking medication is the easy way out, do you? We don't tell someone that usually an inhaler means they did not breathe correctly enough. And we should not just say that, oh, because you have metabolic issues and you're treating metabolic illnesses, that there is some morality attached to it. So, if your healthcare provider recommends a GLP-1 medication, you should understand why. You should ask about benefits, ask about the risks, ask what happens if you stop it, ask about the side effects, and how it fits with your other medications and health conditions. Ask what habits will still matter while you're taking it. This is an informed decision making. Shame is not. Now, here's the biggest message that I want you to leave with. Let's come back to where we started. If I need medication, does that mean I failed? And the answer is no. And choosing to ask about supplements does not make you foolish. either. It means you are trying to understand your options. The problem starts when fear or marketing makes the decision for you. Natural is not automatically safer. A supplement is not automatically a substitute for medication. And medication is not automatically dangerous because someone online had a bad experience. And medical treatment does not erase the work you're doing with food, movement, sleep, and stress. Those habits still matter. Actually, if you look back over this 4-part series, that is probably the biggest theme of all. There is no single villain. There is no single hero. It is not just carbs. It is not just exercise or sleep or one supplement or one medication. Your health is a combination of many things, and the goal is to create an approach that works for your body and for your life. So here is the action for the week. I want you to think about how you can have one simple thing to do this week. Take an inventory, write down every medication and supplement that you currently take. That includes vitamins, herbal supplements, powders, gummies, teas, and products you specifically have because you believe they help with your blood sugar. You do not need to decide whether they are good or bad. Just make a list. Then the next time you see your healthcare provider or pharmacist, make sure you know what is actually on that list. Show them that list. And if there is a supplement you're considering, take a picture of the label, ask about it before you add it, please. The goal is not to be afraid of supplements. The goal is to stop treating them like they exist in a separate universe from the rest of your healthcare, or that it has to be either or, because it doesn't have to be. And with that, we have finished all 4 parts of Prediabetes Myth Series. So we talked about nutrition and exercise and sleep and stress, and today, supplements and medications. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from the entire series, is this: prediabetes does not require you to become perfect. You do not have to fear every carb. Your movement still counts, even when it is small. Your numbers are influenced by more than what you eat. And needing medical support does not mean you failed. You are learning how to work with your body instead of constantly fighting against it. That is the work. Okay? So if this series helped you, I would love for you to share it with someone who was recently diagnosed with prediabetes. Maybe diabetes runs in their family and is really overwhelmed with all the conflicting information online. Please subscribe to Prediabetes and the Path to Better A1C so you do not miss the future episodes and you can catch up as well. And if you have listened to this entire 4-part series, I will really appreciate a review. I would love to hear your feedback. Maybe there is something that you wish I have covered that I didn't. Reviews help more people find also my podcast and find more practical science-based information without all the fear, without the shame, without the miracle promises that show up so often in this space. And if you are ready for a simple place to begin putting some of this into practice, my 5-day sugar fix reset is available for only $27. You receive one focus action each day for 5 days, along with a workbook, practical tools to help you start building a routine that fits your life. You can find it in the show notes or at energy.subscribepage.io. I will also like to link my prediabetes roadmap guide in the show notes. And if you want to talk to me, book a clarity call. It's free, there's no strings attached. I would love to see where you are, and I will be more than happy to explore working with me. Or if there's anything else, I'll be more than glad to point you into the right direction. Thank you so much for joining me for this entire mini series and the last episode of August. And I will see you on the next episode. Bye.